from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Washington football team taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. He gets it to Humphreys. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. From the 25 on 2nd down, Fitzpatrick, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So, Charles, this defense in for a tough matchup. What do you think the game plan is here tonight?
Well, I think the game plan is the same as most, which is, hey, pass rushers, do your job. Coverage guys, do your job. And the linebackers are going to be a mix. Sometimes they'll drop in coverage, sometimes they'll pressure the quarterback. But all in all, you never want to let that quarterback get a string of completions going, because if so, they're hard to deal with, and it makes for a long evening.
To throw again on 2nd down, Fitzpatrick. Open man is Samuel, complete. For that last pass CD, he just added another notch to the old belt. What a career it's been. He's over 35,000 career passing yards now.
And when you say that number, over 35,000 yards, how many people have done that prior to him?
Right around 30.
Boy, that's a pretty good number. Now you're into a membership that means you've done a heck of a job in this league for a decent amount of time. You're recognized as one of the better players.
They'll throw again, Fitzpatrick. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit, do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Now they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run with Gibson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with the new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
They'll try to throw here, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like to match.
Touchdown! Complete at the 1. Logan Thomas from 6 yards away. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Forced out to his left. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47th. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. That's going to be caught by Samuel. They find some open field here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations, ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Play action now. Fitzpatrick under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Logan Wilson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. 3rd and long. Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? Off to Thomas on the left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Throwing on 1st down. Harrison steps away to his left. There's the first NFL catch for Jamar Chase. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Out to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Jamar Chase, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Harrison. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack on 1st down, Fitzpatrick. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Brandon Wilson to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the delay, it's Mixon. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Harrison dancing to his left. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
They'll try and throw for it here. That's to his running back, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. On 2nd and 10, Fitzpatrick. Thomas brings it in. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Wilson now on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now is just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. To return it, Darius Phillips. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And it's incomplete. He was trying to get that ball to Auden Tate, and it's 3rd and 5. Here's Burrow. Rolling to his left. He'll have a first down past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Burrow's throw into the hands of Sample. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They call it a loss of a yard there, and it'll be 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
First down, Heineke. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A run here for J.D. McKissick. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Heineke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules.
Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown, an 11-yard touchdown. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, Phillips. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Steps away. Complete to his tight end Sample. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Burrow looking to pass. He completes it to Tate. And the ball is knocked out. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now, you know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with McKissick. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. A carry now for McKissick. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll try to throw now. Heineke. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Phillips now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On the move to his left. This is caught by Evans. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it with Williams. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
A final shot now for Burrow, escaping the pressure right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the post game. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they